Hey guys, it's ChickRightHere, and I think that it is time for another Moments with ChickRightHere. This Moments video is about the best day of my life, and that day was this summer at Warped Tour. So let's start off at the beginning. I was with my best friend Annie. We've been planning it since midway through last year. We even got the app on our phone that counts down the days until Warped Tour. And I was really excited, and it was getting like 2 weeks closer to Warped Tour, and me and Annie were like freaking out, and we were like, ah. And right now, I realized that I can't even look at pictures of before I went to Warped Tour. And we talked about it every single day up until Warped. We would talk about what we would wear, how we would wear it, what hair we would do, what makeup we would do, who would we see, where would we see them, stuff like that. And then Warped Tour came, and we are in the car and we're like freaking out. It's like, I can't remember, 7 in the morning, and there was this long line. So we finally get in the line. We drop off all of our canned foods because the canned foods allowed everybody who had canned foods to skip to the front and go in early. She and I had this game plan where we both wanted to meet Of Mice and Men and Sleeping with Sirens. So she would go searching for Of Mice and Men's posters, and I would go searching for Sleeping with Sirens. So she found them right away after asking this guy, and she got in line for the Of Mice and Men to get the posters. Sadly, there was no Sleeping with Sirens posters, so I went back to Annie in Of Mice and Men line. The lady came around and was like, okay, well, we have 500 posters, so you guys will be fine, blah, blah, blah. You'll be able to meet them. No big deal. No, that did not happen. 3 people, literally 3 people were in front of us, and the lady goes, we have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is that we still have posters for you to meet Yellow Card if you want to meet them. But the bad news is we don't have any more posters for Of Mice and Men. Carry on. So yeah, literally 3 people in front of us, she announced that. And we were so pissed. But then another streak of luck came. Then the lady started telling us that there would be a contest to win skip the line passes to meet Of Mice and Men. So me and Annie were freaking out. We were like, yes, we can do this, we can do this. Then the lady said it was a dance contest. So I turned to Annie and I say, you're on your own with this one. So she said, Bailey, you know I can't dance either. So we were kind of out of luck with the dancing, but then another streak of luck came. The guy came up and announced that since it's Warped Tour and it's not a dance contest, it will be whoever can mosh the most. He put on 5 different songs, and the 5 different songs we had to dance appropriately to the song, and whoever had the most energy would win the skip the line passes. The first song comes on, it's this like metal, like hardcore rock song, and Annie puts me on her shoulders and my necklace gets stuck in her hair. I had this anchor necklace that said Sleeping with Sirens across of it, and it was my lucky necklace, and it got stuck in her hair. I was falling off of her back, like my necklace was caught in her hair. I was falling off. I was like, and she was yelling at me to keep dancing. The guy turned to us and was like, okay, put her down, you're moshing too hard, blah, blah, blah. So then the song goes to this like mariachi band, weird, like, I don't even know. So me and Annie started doing the limbo. I put my arm like this, and she went like, she was like, you know. And then the 3rd song came on, and it was this like weird like robotic thing. So me and Annie started doing the robot. 2 other songs came on, and I can't even remember what they were. It was just such a blur. That rhymes. Anyways, so then the guy with the skip the line passes goes around, and he goes in through the circle of like 100, like 200 people, and he keeps going around and around just to find a specific specific people. He goes around this way, he goes past me and Annie, he comes around this way, he like goes in this like long circle, and then he finally gives them to this one little girl. Me and Annie were just about to leave, and we were just about to like walk away, like I don't even care anymore, like just let's go. Annie was about to cry. And then he says, but wait, there's more. So me and Annie were like, oh, and we turned around, and he had VIP passes backstage to Of Mice and Men. Me and Annie were like, well, obviously if that girl beat us at the moshing contest, we're not gonna win this. So he keeps going around and around, and he goes into that loop that he went in before, and he comes straight up to Annie, and he hands the tickets to Annie. And me and Annie started freaking out, she started crying, and we walked up to the lady, and the lady was like, oh, well, who do you want to see backstage? And then Annie and I were like, Of Mice and Men, blah, blah, blah. And so we got to meet them backstage, and it was really cool. then the lady told us to meet back at the tent at 2 o'clock. Around like 11 o'clock at that point, and we had about 3 hours until we had to meet back at the tent to get an escort to go backstage. So me and Annie went to the YouTubers tent to wait in line to meet all these like really famous YouTubers, and it was really cool, but we didn't get to meet them. Well, we didn't get to meet most of them. But my sister and my cousin waited in line with us and they got to meet them, so that was pretty cool. But then it was around like 1:45, so me and Annie started running back to the Of Mice and Men tent. Once we got to the Of Mice and Men tent, we waited until like 2:10 and we were still there, and our escort was supposed to come at 2. The lady told us that it would be okay and the escort would be here in a few minutes. So then this guy comes up to me and Annie and he puts his arms around us and he says, "Sup, girls?" So then I go, "Oh hey, what's up?" I thought he was our escort. Then I look over and I see Annie going like this. She thought he was a rapist. We had completely opposite like ideas of what this guy was. I thought he was our escort. She thought he was a rapist. I don't know. And then he left. No clue why he left. We were freaking out at that point. He was like this 30-year-old man that came and put his arms around us, and then I thought he was our escort. She thought he was a rapist. Maybe she was closer to the idea of him than I was. Then he sits down at this table that was like, it's like this, we're standing here, and he sits down at the table. 3 other guys follow him and sit down at the table as well. Me and Annie looked at each other for a second. We were like, trying to figure out who this guy was. Then it clicked. The guy who put his arm around us was the lead guitarist of Yellowcard. And I wanted to see Yellowcard in the first place. But since it interfered with the Of Mice and Men thing, we didn't get to meet them, but we did. We were like freaking out, and he put his arm around us. Like, what? He came up to us. Like, we didn't go up to him, and we were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So then the lady comes, and she was our escort. She took us to Of Mice and Men, and it was really cool, and we saw them backstage. Alan, the lead guitarist of Mice and Men, was standing there, and Annie and I walk up, and I walk past Alan, and I look at Austin, and Austin's the lead singer, and he's just like, and I'm like, and then I turn around and I see Annie, and Annie was like, hey, and Alan was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh my god. How I am with Chandler, she is with Alan. She is absolutely in love with Alan, and I was like, oh my god, she's actually talking to him. Oh my god. But she played it cool. She was like, what's up, yeah, what? And it was really funny, and I was just like, oh my god. I was like, whew, that was a good day. So before Of Mice and Men went on stage, they all got into this like huddle where they put their hands in the middle, and they went, 1, 2, 3, rock and roll! And then Austin went up to Alan and was like, ah, on his face, like he put his hands on his face and ah! And then Of Mice and Men had to go on stage, so they walked past us and they went on stage. At first, I was kind of unsure if Alan was looking at us. He was staring at Annie the entire time. Every other song that they played like 9 or a couple songs, I don't remember how many, but every other song, Alan would turn to Annie and he would play the guitar to her. And Austin would look over, and I felt like he was judging us at some parts, but you know, whatever. You know how when you want something so badly, like if you like someone and you want them to look at you, and whenever they're looking like in your direction, you're like, oh my god, they're looking at me, but really they're not. That was not the case. Alan was staring at Annie. It was so obvious. Once that was over, then I realized that there was another YouTuber meetup since we missed the first one. We went in the line for the YouTubers tent, and I met Damon Fizzy. D Fizzy was the only one that was in line there, so I met him, and it was okay. I mean, anyways, but then after I met him, me and Annie ran off and we did our thing. We just went and saw a bunch of bands. Issues, Sleeping with Sirens, how many? Who else did we see? We saw a lot more. Breathe Carolina, how could I forget that? So in Breathe Carolina, there was this lady that was sitting in a wheelchair right next to me. And a few And everyone was like protecting her. No one was moshing around her. No one was like doing anything bad. So later on, like a week ago, or like a couple weeks ago, I look on Tumblr and I see this picture of this lady in a wheelchair at Warped Tour crowd surfing, and I realized I was standing right next to her. And then in Breathe Carolina, David, the lead singer of Breathe Carolina, got into this float thing. It was like, I don't know, it was like a raft, and he crowd surfed on that. And I have a video, I'll show you it right now, but he almost fell on top of me and he looked straight into my camera before he fell. It was like he knew it was coming, and it was like, oh my god, he was like, take me back, and he turns and he looks in my camera, and then he like falls, and I'm like, oh. And like he knew he was gonna fall on me. Like, I'll show you that video right now.
I'm gonna sing this song and I'll take you back. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so that was David almost falling on top of me. And then I go into Issues. Issues is this other band, and Annie would always leave me for some reason. So I was left in Issues by myself, and the mosh pit started right next to me. Knowing this 5'3" girl standing next to a mosh pit with a bunch of 20-year-olds is not a good thing. So this one guy accidentally punched me in the face. He was like moshing, and he was like, "Purr!" Right in my eye. So he punched me in the face, but then he was like, oh my god, I'll protect you. So for the rest of the concert of Issues, which was only like 5 songs more, whenever there were crowd surfers, he would always like push the crowd surfer off me because he felt bad for punching me in the face. Anyways, and then after that, it was just so incredible. We had the best time of our life. I met this other YouTuber who has like insane like hair. I still need to get that picture from Annie. I don't know why, but I'll show you some videos of like Sleeping with Sirens and all of those. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. That was like the best day of my life. It was so fun. So I will show you guys some videos that I took, and I hope you guys like this video. So I'll see you guys right here later. Bye!
1, 2, rage. 1, 2, rage.